Hi, Basham BT. Welcome to another morning flow. And just like last week, we're only here for 15 or 20 minutes, so we're going to go right ahead and get started. So go ahead and make your way into an all fours position. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Spread the fingers. Grip the mat, press the floor away, and then inhale, drop the belly, lift the seat, lift the heart, coming through cow pose. Exhale, press the floor away, dome the spine, really pull the belly button to the spine here and let the head go as you come into cat. Inhale through cow pose. Exhale through cat. So with these shorter practices, keep going. We really get right into things, and we don't take a lot of time to really check in or sit in silence to really get started on our mat. So you really want to just start to connect breath to movement. Let any external stressors go. Give yourself this 15 or 20 minutes to just be in your breath, be in your body, and completely unplug. Inhale through cow pose. Exhale through cat. Inhale through a neutral spine, so just a flat back with a gaze to the edge of the mat. Tuck your toes and exhale through down dog. So you'll notice I usually have a soft bend in my knees in my down dog. I have really tight hamstrings. So this is a nice reminder that just because I'm a yoga teacher doesn't mean I'm super flexible. I just know the benefit of stretching, right? Stretching and strengthening. I believe I have a nice mixture of both, and that's really important. So never feel bad about having to bend the knees in order to come into a nice, more comfortable position. So long spine, spread the fingers, press the mat away. Press down, especially the thumb and the forefinger, and then squeeze your biceps towards your ears without actually moving them. Your hips are high. The balls of your feet are pressing down and pulling back. Take 2 breaths here and set the gaze in between your heels. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. On your exhale, come high onto the tiptoes and float out to high plank. So you should be able to float from your high plank to your down dog without much movement in the feet and in the hands. Sometimes I have to shift a little bit. My hands are underneath my shoulders. My hips are in line with my elbows. And I'm pressing through my heels so my legs are active. My gaze is at the edge of the mat. Take 3 breaths here. Let's really warm up the body. Full breath in. Full breath out. So 2 more breaths. Feel free to drop the knees if you need to drop the knees. Just listen to your body. That's what yoga is all about. On your next in-breath, you lift the hips and come back through downward facing dog. So let's walk out our dog here, just lifting one heel at a time. I love this because it really opens up the calves. I like to take my gaze out from underneath each armpit, getting into the hips a little bit. And in the morning, we're usually a little bit tighter. It takes a little bit longer to warm up. So just let that movement come into your body. No big deal. Be gentle with yourself. All right, and then come to stillness. Let's float from high plank to down dog. So inhale to high plank. Take the gaze to the edge of the mat. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, high plank. exhale, down dog. Now inhale, take the right leg high. All 5 toes are pointing down. And I'm just gonna pulse my right leg up, strengthening the hamstring and the glute, really waking things up for 8, 7, 6. My hands are pressing the mat forward and away. 2, 1. Now I'm gonna pull my heel to my seat, squeeze like a hamstring curl. Pull the knee to the nose, shoulders over the wrists, and step the right foot up by the right hand. Feel free to drop the left knee if you need to do that. And now I'm just going to tent my fingertips. So I'm lifting my palms up off the mat and I have my fingertips down. And I'm going to come to a long spine. If you have blocks, I recommend grabbing them, especially if you're tight like me or have short arms. So I can really get into the front of my left hip here. I'm sending my hips forward. I'm pressing down with both feet and I'm squeezing my inner thighs for a little bit more engagement. Full breath in. Full breath out. Now I'm going to lower my back knee. I'm going to pivot my left toes, my back knee off to the side, and I'm going to open up as if I'm coming into warrior 2 but on my knees. I'm going to take my blocks off to the side here. I'm going to start with my hands on my hip. My legs are long. I'm pressing my left hip forward. My shoulders are directly over my hips. I'm going to take my arms out wide as if I'm a tree. I'm going to take a full breath in. On my breath out, I'm going to lower my left hand down to blocks because that's more comfortable to me. If you have longer arms, you can go all the way down to the mat. And I'm going to, again, press that bottom hip forward. Take my hand to the back of my head. Now I'm going to hover my right toes off the mat. So immediately you're going to feel this outer hip, maybe this inner hip start to fire up. And we're just going to lift and lower. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So a lot of people have pain in their hips, feel tight in the hips, maybe have pain in their knees. And we need a good mixture of both strengthening and stretching our hips, okay? So this is the strengthening part right here. You're just connecting breath to movement as you lift and lower. Full breath in and out. Now let's hold it at the top. Doesn't matter how high, just keep that left hip pressing forward, and you're gonna pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the right foot down. Arms come up just like we started. And then lift that left hand up and over towards the right leg. So I'm feeling a nice stretch in that outer hip there. The outer hip, surprisingly, gets worked just as much as the hip that we are actually strengthening. Good. Arms come back up. I'm going to move my blocks back out to the side. And I'm going to pivot my body back around, coming back into that lunge position. And then I'm going to step back to a plank. Lower the knees. Lift the chest forward. Reach the chest beyond the fingertips. Elbows hug in. Lower down halfway. And then press it back up. So that's a chaturanga push-up. Take a breath in at the top. Take a breath out as you lower halfway. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And then on the next one, lower all the way down. Slide your hands back. Come to the tops of the feet. Press those toes down. Activate the legs. So you should feel your shins and your kneecaps lifting. And then inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, lift the chest, opening up the chest, strengthening the low back. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Use the knees. Press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Lift the left leg up, all 5 toes pointing down. Remember your fingers are spread. You're pressing the mat forward and away. Your hips are lifted. And we're gonna pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick your heel to your seat. Squeeze. Pull your knee to your nose as you float out to high plank. And step your left foot by your left thumb. I'm going to go ahead again and grab my blocks. If you have them, you can use them. And I'm going to send my hips forward. Remember, I'm activating my legs. So I'm pressing down with the feet, pulling the inner thighs in, creating that solid foundation. And I take my gaze forward. Full breath in. Full breath out. Lower that back knee. And then you're going to kickstand the back right foot off to the side. And you are going to come to the other side for the hip. And I'm going to turn around so that you guys can see me. So I've got my left leg out this time. Using my blocks front of my hand. If you have a hand weight, that works as well. The hand weight just gives you a little bit of lift. If you have long arms, it's not really a problem. But you want to make sure that your hips stay stacked and that bottom hip is able to comfortably press forward. So my left leg is long. I'm going to take my hand to my ear and I'm going to inhale, lift, exhale, lower. You might notice that there's a little bit of an imbalance. One leg might be, or one hip might be a little bit more flexible, able to get a little bit higher than the other. We all have those imbalances. No big deal. Just accept your body and know that we're working through them right now. Full breath in, full breath out. 2 more. Nice and slow. So I'm not swinging my leg up. I'm using that hip strength to just lift slowly and lower. Now lift and hold at the top. Pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg. Arms back up to tree. Lift up and over towards that left leg. Full breath in. Full breath out. Come back through center. And then step back to plank. Step back to down dog. Good. And then on your next in-breath, let's come high onto the tiptoes. Bend the knees. Look up at the hands and walk your feet forward nice and slow. Come to a soft bend in the knees if you need to. Anything, enough bend so that you can comfortably let your head hang. So a nice forward fold here. The weight is in the balls of the feet. And then maybe you grab opposite elbows and hang in ragdoll, just swaying side to side for a couple of breaths. And then release the hands. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, find a long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. So as I lift and lengthen, I come up a little bit higher. I really want to feel the muscles in my upper back work. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise all the way up to the top of the mat, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do one sun salutation, welcoming our day. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, shift the upper body forward. Lower it down halfway. Then use the knees, come all the way down. Then inhale, lift up to cobra pose. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Now let's quickly stretch out those hips that we just worked. Inhale, take the right leg high. Exhale, bring the right knee forward. Lower the shin down. Coming into a quick pigeon pose. The back leg is long. I press down with my front shin, and I press down with the top of the back foot, squeezing the inner thighs, lifting the chest. So my legs are active. And then maybe I come down a little bit further to open that hip. We're only here for 2 breaths. Full breath in, and a full breath out. One more inhale. On the exhale, press yourself up. And then I'm going to lower down onto my right hip. I'm going to take this left leg around, and I'm going to cross it over the right knee. I'm going to take the right hand to the base of the spine, the left hand high. I'm going to hug this left knee in. So I'm going to take my right hand around, and I'm going to use both hands to really hug in so I can get into this outer hip a little bit. And I'm going to take a full breath in as I lengthen my spine, and a full breath out as I twist up and over towards the left. My gaze stays right in line with my belly button. So my belly button is kind of off to the left. I'm going to keep my gaze right in line there so that I'm not twisting my neck too much. Full breath in, full breath out. Good, come back through center. Unwind that left leg. Step back through plank pose. Back through down dog. We're going to take it to the other side. You're going to take your left leg high. And then you're going to lower the shin down. Lengthen the right leg. Activate those legs by really pressing down and pulling in. And then maybe you soften into it by lowering the upper body down for 2 breaths. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. On the exhale, press yourself up. Take that back leg, swing it around, cross it over the left leg. So I'm going to take my right hand to the base of the spine, my left hand up. I'm going to hug that right knee in, maybe take the other arm around and really give it a nice tight hug. Then inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist up and over towards the right. Full breath in. Full breath out. Then swing that right leg around. Press yourself back. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Lower your knees. Set your seat back to your heels. Pause in child's pose before you go about your day. Take a moment to set an intention. Setting a morning intention is so important. For me lately, it's just been patience, grace. Things are so crazy. Just giving myself the okay that things are not going to be perfect. I'm just going to keep taking one breath at a time, one foot in front of the other, and all will be okay. Take a breath in as you press yourself up to all fours. Come to seated. If you have time for Shavasana, where you can lay back on your mat and just take time to rest, it would be a wonderful thing to do. If you need to go about your day, you had a great 20-minute practice, and I hope that your body feels good and strong and open. And I will hopefully see you Wednesday night at 7:30 for our evening practice. Have a good day.